Hi everybody, I'm Greg from Safety Integration with Steph and Tony, also from Safety Integration. And we're going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to do some success stories, or like we like to call it, tales from the safety vault. We're going to start with Tony. He's got a story he wants to share.
I had a guy who was picking up a brake drum and actually moving it up onto a pallet 4 inches off the ground. He didn't bend down properly because of his age. He's not able to get down like he was before. And, just moving that motion and getting that up there, and the drum's pretty heavy. He torqued his back a little bit. And come to find out, in a conversation with him doing the reenactment, he actually suggested a tool to fix this issue years before we were involved. And of course, it got dumped along the way as it went up the line. So now we're going to go in and we're going to have a conversation. We're going to create this with him, and it's going to be really good because he gets to feel like he's part of the solution, and he's going to feel important now at that point too. It's going to be great, and then it's going to be good. Nobody else is going to get hurt.
It's beautiful. And the nice thing about the name of the company, Safety Integration, the A stands for accountability, and you're helping them build it all the way up the ladder. That's one of my favorites, man. Love that one.
Yeah.
All right, so Steph's got a story she's going to tell, and then a side story. Do you want to tell them both at the same time? You have one that kind of touched you early on in your career?
There was one early on in my career that really sticks with me even today. There was a company that did pipe, and a truck came in and the pipe that was on the truck wasn't put on correctly. So everybody gathered to try and sort it out, and the chain came loose and the pipe came down, and everybody tried to run away, but it caught the driver. Both of his legs were pinned under. So when the employees tried to help pull the driver out from under the pipe, his legs stayed, and the rest of him came. So it was really traumatic for the employees. But what was more troubling to me was the attitude that the driver wasn't our employee, so it wasn't their problem, whereas their employees could have just as easily said, wait, there's a safer way to do this, and this guy would have kept his leg. So everybody should feel engaged in the safety process. And anytime I hear that people don't feel comfortable, much like this gentleman who gave suggestions but was ignored, that just really sits badly with me, because everybody has a right to a safe workplace and to watch out for each other, and that should be taken seriously. So that's something that's always stuck with me.
That's a great share, but a terrible story. And again, the name of the company, Safety Integration. We talk about accountability. We help clients bring accountability. It's probably the secret sauce in everything that we do. Getting it up through the chain, making sure that when you have visitors, whether it's a truck driver or a subcontractor or somebody coming into your property, that they're part of the solution, not part of the problem, and they're all the same. Everybody should be able to go home safely at the end of the day. So I love that share. That's a great one. I think you have one more that you wanted to chat about.
We did. It's one that came up about a year ago. A client called and said a gentleman is trying to file a workers' comp claim, and we have documentation it's a personal injury, not related to work. What do we do? So I drove right over, sat down with the HR team, sat down with the managers, explained what the process should be. And what inevitably happened is they called the employee in and they explained to him, you have the right to file a workers' comp claim, but you could be creating more problems by filing a fraudulent one. And within 3 hours from the time of the phone call to the time they were done talking to him, it was 3 hours, he retracted the claim because he didn't know that he might get in trouble for doing it. So that accountability and that training and teaching the HR company and HR team how to deal with workers' comp claims the right way made a huge difference, not just in their costs, but in this guy's life. He didn't, end up in prison.
And that's the beauty of, again, ties back to safety, the S, the A, the F, and the T. And in that situation, it's the T, it's the training. And it's just not safety training. We help with claims, and we help with the process, and we help with communication with doctors and communication with the claims managers and the HR team, and right down to an employee that might have got bad advice from the family uncle that's lifelong workers' comp person. So when we talk about training, it's a lot of different training. So great shares, both of you. And I'm going to tell one quick one that stuck with me for quite a while. I'm going to tell a quick story about a welder who was probably one of the best welders I ever worked with. I started working with a manufacturing company, and he went to make a repair. And I'm going to make this a short version. I can talk about this for hours. So he went to use a handheld grinder. 26 years of welding experience. This guy was the man. He knew what to do. And what was even more interesting, he was on our safety committee. He was the safety committee welder. And he went to weld or cut a piece off with a handheld grinder about face high. And he didn't put on his face shield. And he knew it. He had a brand new one, and he just didn't do it. So when he went to hit the piece, the binder or the grinder bound when he started cutting, and it kicked back, slipped out of his hand, and it hit him across his face. If it would have hit him across the neck, he would have bled out on the floor. The cool thing is, 0 days away. He didn't miss 1 day of work. He went and got 48 stitches across his face. He kind of looked like the Joker from Batman. We teased him pretty hard. But my boss at the time wanted us to write him up. I'm like, what? We don't even know what happened yet. What are we going to write somebody up for? We need to investigate this and find out truly what happened. There was obviously a massive error here. Let's not penalize the guy. He's got a massive just smashed face right now, stitches everywhere. So we did the investigation. We found out that, one, he was in a hurry. Okay, so I always pick on the Russians. Everybody tells me they're Russian. Stop being a Russian. All right, let's be an American. Slow down and go home safe. So what we want to do is we want to dig into it. And then we find out, well, it was just a small piece and I've cut it 1,000 times. So complacency came into play. He felt too comfortable. He's never been hurt. He never had an injury. Then I asked him, I said, when was the last time you had some hands-on training running that grinder or going over wearing the proper PPE and the deer in the headlights? He's like, we haven't done any of that. You just started. You've only been here a few months. And he goes, I know I'm going to lose my job. And I said, I guarantee you're not. It's going to be worse. And they're like, worse? You're now promoted to the safety trainer. And you're going to go, and there was like 400 guys there that were allowed to use a grinder. He became my guy. He did inspections on grinders. He would check to make sure guards was there. He would see if the plugs were damaged or if the cords were damaged. He would check the guarding. And then he would do a hands-on training and document it. So for the next year and a half, he became my in-house trainer, non-stop training. Didn't get fired, didn't get wrote up. We made him understand the importance of really doing the job right.
His credibility at that point, just even having the scar in his face.
And he would say, guys, look, listen to me, put the face shield on, safety glasses, face shield, use the guarding, pay attention, don't cut corners. Yeah. So it goes a long way. And that's the kind of stuff we like to do. So we just thought sharing a few stories from the team might give you a chance to say, oh my God, I had something like that. Maybe we should chat. I appreciate you guys sharing, and thank you all.